TLC Sports and Sprint PCS present the Winston Cup Series from the new Kansas Speedway in Kansas City. It's the home of the NFL Chiefs and the Major League Royals, a state proud of its Jayhawks and Wildcats, and, of course, of its country. Hi, everybody. I'm Bill Weber, and consider this your official welcome to Kansas City. 75,000 fans, 43 drivers, 43 teams, and 400 miles on a brand new racetrack. We've already shared many of the major stories we're going to be watching today. Now, let's get 3 more. Let's go to pit road.
Jason Leffler is the 5th first-time pole sitter in the year 2001. The finishes of the other 4, last, second to last, and 39th. Jason hopes for much better things today from his Dodge. Let's go to Matt Yoakum.
Although the Dodge boys grabbed 4 of the top 5 starting spots, a sleeper in the field could be back here in 12th. John Andretti has renewed optimism after turning in the 7th fastest time in the final practice session. He's trying to end an 86-race winless streak and become the first Dodge driver to win an inaugural event since the King back in 1974. To Marty Snyder.
Well, Matt, Saturday's Busch race was a disaster for Kevin Harvick. After an accident, he sat in the garage helpless, watching his points lead go out the window. But that could be good news for Harvick fans. How's that? The last time his Busch Series car went behind the wall was Chicago. He went on to win the Winston Cup race, and Chicago's an exact copy of this track at Kansas. Bill?
Thanks, Marty. When they talked about building this track, some people thought it was a fairy tale. This fairy tale has come true. Some people expect a first-time winner today. That could be another fairy tale. And speaking of fairy tales, here's our answer to the Tin Man, Scarecrow, and the Cowardly Lion. Alan Bestwick, Benny Parsons, and Wally Dallenbach.
And I'm not up on that fairy tale as to which one of us lacks which character trait, but I'll assume it was appropriately titled, Mr. Weber. Hey, we've heard a lot from the drivers this weekend about a one-groove racetrack. Let's talk about what that means and how it's going to affect today's race.
Well, the racetrack is very, very wide, but these cars get in around the speedway. There's only one place that they can run where the car really likes to run there, and there's a lot of grip. Now, as that groove gets oiled and run on, normally the groove would move up. They would start trying to find some new racetrack to get more grip. Not so with a brand new surface. That grip stays there consistent, and it looks like it might stay there for the entire 400 miles.
Yeah, you're right, BP. You know, and what we saw in the Busch race was the race to get to the bottom. If you look right down here, you look at there's Jeff Burton. He wants to get down to the bottom as fast as he can. So as the race starts, he gets to the bottom. That's the biggest thing all these guys are going to try to do is get to the bottom of the racetrack as fast as they can.
Because passing might be a little more difficult on the track than the drivers might like, that means what happens on pit road is not just important, it's critical.
And I walked through the garage this morning and I talked to these guys. Every crew member knows their job today is to get their car out front as quickly as they can. It's going to be pit stops crucial.
In a moment, the opening ceremony here at the Kansas Speedway, including the singing of the national anthem by superstar duo Brooks and Dunn.
Ah, this is the place. The place where I can build my cabin and get away from it all, with a little help from my all-new Suzuki Quadrunner Eiger 400. I didn't spend much, and it's got all the features I need. So I can build my cabin and get away from it all. Get into the great outdoors. Get back to nature. Get back on my Eiger. Get some ice. Get some x-rays and get a contractor.
Beverly Hills, where the stores take cash, credit, or gold bullion. Even the poodles drink bottled water.
If you want the best here, it'll cost you.
But the best pizza won't cost you. You can get the Rodeo Drive of pizzas. A Pizza Hut pizza, just $8.99 every week this fall. Right now, it's the Big New Yorker pizza. It's humongous with tons of luscious cheese. Make it a supreme or specialty pizza for just 99 cents more. Beautiful. So feed your maid, chauffeur, and supermodel girlfriend for just $8.99.
Can we eat in here?
Only at Pizza Hut.
The American dream. We refuse to let anyone take it away. So GM announces interest-free financing on every new car and every new truck, now through October 31st. Believe in the dream. Believe in each other. Keep America rolling.
Shocking tragedies have occurred and America is in mourning. The long period of uncertainty and recovery awaits us all. The American Red Cross is providing life-saving assistance, including precious blood, food, shelter, and grief counseling. We honor our heroic relief workers, victims, and their families. Please call 1-800-GIVE-LIFE to donate blood or 1-800-HELP-NOW to offer financial support. Together, we can save a life.
This Wednesday on NBC, it's the all-new episode of West Wing you've been hearing about. All-new West Wing this Wednesday, 9/8 Central on NBC.
The Kellys. Exclusively on NASCAR.com. America Online keyword NASCAR.
Welcome back to the Kansas Speedway, where a sellout crowd of 75,000, plus the members of 43 race teams, will now take time to honor America before the start of the race.
National Memorial Service for the victims of the severed... You recently saw her at the National Memorial Service for the victims of September 11 at the National Cathedral. Once again, thanks to Denise Graves and her husband, David Perry. Today's invocation will be given by NASCAR chaplain, Reverend Hal Marchman.
Let us pray. Almighty God, we thank you for this wonderful world. And we pause to give thanks because you have made it, and you have made all of us. And we thank you for this beautiful place. And we know that you're our God and we're your children. But we give thanks to the many people who have made this beautiful place possible. We pray for everyone in this race, and we invoke your blessings upon all of us. And may your spirit abide now and forever. Shalom and amen.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, with the national anthem, please welcome Brooks and Dunn and the NASCAR Kids. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night
still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Ladies and gentlemen, to give the command, here is Mayor Carol Marinovich and the governor of the great state of Kansas, Bill Graves, with the greatest words in racing.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
Sharon told me last night when the engines start, the emotions of current events are to be set aside, replaced by the steely concentration required to go racing.
So, Mrs. Petty, you called Kyle to track and said, let's have dinner for two.
Dinner for two? Dinner for crew? They're closed.
Ma'am, were you on a cell phone?
Yes, I was. Patty,
I warned you about the static. That explains everything. Here. Sprint PCS built the only all-digital, all-PCS nationwide network, so your calls will be clear.
Thank you. What about them?
I'm thinking drive-through.
2,500 minutes for $39.99 from Sprint PCS.
Hey, boss, what are we throwing here? Yeah, I thought we was getting some ziti. Enough with the ziti. You're here to lose weight, capiche? Tell him, sweetheart.
If you want to lose weight and look great, nothing burns fat faster than Stacker 2.
Well, boss, what about this Xena stuff? And this Metabo whatever? Forget about it. This family only uses Stacker 2. It's the world's strongest fat burner.
Stacker 2. It's the world's strongest fat burner. Capiche?
This is Bill. Bill is installing a new belt on his car. The belt he purchased isn't exactly right, but it seemed like a bargain, and Bill's determined to get it on there. That one might be a little tight, Bill. Here's the deal. At Napa, we not only carry the right part, we've got the know-how to make sure that's what you leave the store with.
Sprint PCS presents NASCAR Winston Cup Racing from Kansas Speedway. Brought to you by Sprint PCS, the clear alternative to cellular. By Budweiser, with the crisp, clean, refreshing taste you'll find in no other beer. This Bud's for you. By Dodge, you can take life as it comes, or you can grab life by the horns. Dodge. And by Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola salutes baseball's Iron Man. Congratulations, Cal.
The field of starters in the inaugural Protection 1 400 at the Kansas Speedway are rolling onto the track to make their parade and pace laps. And while they do that, let's get you a driver's eye view of this speedway with Benny's Thunder Motion.
And Thunder Motion is powered by EA Sports. And folks, I found that these virtual cars are a little bit harder to drive than a regular car.
Think so?
I think so. Here as I go down in turn one, I want to be at the very bottom of the racetrack, and you see whoever's driving Junior's car, totally the wrong line. You want to be right down on the bottom of the speedway through 1, 2, and 3, and 4. The backstretch is straight, which really creates a problem getting in turn 3. The car wants to get loose. In turn 3, and you're going to go by Junior outside? No, 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 folks. This might be the only pass you see all day on the outside. The bottom is the place these cars want to be.
All right. You just passed Earnhardt on the outside at Kansas, and you say this is harder to drive? I mean, that was a tough deal.
That was a tough deal. Oh, these cars are hard to drive.
Budweiser, the official beer of NASCAR, is the proud sponsor of the Bud Pole Award given to the fastest qualifier at each NASCAR Winston Cup race. Rookie Jason Leffler with his first Bud Pole in just his 28th try, the 5th first-time pole winner this year. Since 1979, Anheuser-Busch has awarded more than $7 million as the title sponsor of NASCAR's Pole Award program. Now the Walmart starting grid for today's 400-miler. Leffler with point leader Jeff Gordon on the front row. Gordon, winner of 2 previous inaugural races in his career. Row number 2, a couple of more Dodges. Bill Elliott and Stacy Compton, 4 Dodges qualified in the top 5 spots.
Inside of row 3, Bill Elliott's teammate Casey Atwood, the second bestest rookie in the top 5. Johnny Benson on the outside. On the inside of row 4, Tony Stewart, 3 wins this season. Ricky Rudd trying to close in on Jeff Gordon for the Winston Cup Championship.
Row 5, Maine's Ricky Craven with his 5th top 10 start in the last 8 races, and the defending Winston Cup champion, Bobby Labonte. The 6th row, Rusty Wallace, who struggled on these mile-and-a-half tracks this year. Best result of 12th, and John Andretti and Richard Petty's Dodge.
Matt Kenseth on the inside of row 7. His best 4th at Michigan in August. Jimmy Spencer, 5th at Chicagoland. Expect him to run well. On the inside of row 8, Kevin Harvick, Chicago winner. A track very similar to this, Andy Houston on the outside. On the inside of row 9, Ryan Newman. And let's try to talk to Ryan as these cars take their pace laps. Ryan Newman, Benny Parsons, you read me?
Copy, baby.
All right, this is the backup car. You crashed your other car in practice. How is it?
Oh, pretty good. It was really quick in the happy hour, but we got 16 other guys here to get around, and just have to be patient. It's going to be a long 400 miles and different racetrack, and it's going to be different for everybody here, especially me.
How many times have you heard the word patience this morning?
Quite a few. I mean, you got to be there at the end to finish first. First, you got to finish, and we're just going to do the best we can to try to do that.
Well, good luck, Ryan.
BP.
Fastest car in happy hour yesterday afternoon.
Ryan Newman going to start in row 9, the 17th position. Continuing with the rest of the starting lineup, Kevin LePage and Elliott Sadler. Chevy and Ford in row 16. Robbie Gordon replaces Mike Skinner in Richard Childress Racing's number 31 Chevy this week. Skinner to have knee surgery on Tuesday. Final qualifier on time was Ward Burton and Bill Davis's machine. Rest of these got into the field by their point standings, a provisional starting spot. Tough week for Kurt Busch. He crashed his car in practice here on Friday. And you look at the final starters in the field, Michael Waltrip, Brett Bodine, and Hutch Strickland. Failed to qualify. Tough break for Kyle Petty, his sponsor's hometown. Wanted so badly to be in this one. Just didn't go well for him on Friday. Before they go green, some final stories from pit road, starting with Marty Snyder.
Well, Benny was pretty modest when he just talked to Ryan Newman, because on Monday, Benny predicted a first-time winner and followed through with this guy. Still on Saturday afternoon, Benny was saying Ryan Newman's probably going to win the race. He was the fastest in happy hour, and who knows, BP, this 23-year-old Purdue graduate may make you look like a hero. To Matt Yoakum.
Marty, while Jeff Gordon tries for his 3rd inaugural race victory, his teammate Terry Labonte would like to have one. He hasn't won a race in 87 starts. They feel like they have turned the corner. They're seeing some daylight over their recent struggles. Maybe today could be the day they end the drought. Today Burns.
Matt, at the very similar Chicagoland Speedway earlier this year, Todd Bodine sat on the pole but could only spin together a 14th place finish. They believe they found a mechanical problem, and Todd thinks he can go from his 27th starting spot to the front this afternoon. Alan?
5 years and $224 million from dream to dream come true for the race fans of Kansas City. NASCAR is in your town. We're set for the green flag and the inaugural Winston Cup event at the Kansas Speedway. turn one. Casey Atwood spins.
Ricky Craven has spun.
Andretti damaged. Yellow nose car. Benny, you talked about it at the very beginning of our pre-race show. The race was going to be the race to get to the bottom in turn one on lap one.
And here we've got the 5th place starter spinning at John Andretti. I know they had high hopes for that STP, the 43 car today.
Oh, man.
And Ricky Craven talked to Cal Wells just a few minutes ago. He said, today could be our day.
Jimmy Spencer also coming down pit road. Let's take a look at what happened. Turn one, lap one.
Something happened to the car in front of Casey Atwood.
It's Stacy Compton that was right in front of him.
I wonder if Casey got in the back of Stacy Compton, and when he jumped off the gasoline because he had gotten in the back of him. Let's see if we can see. There we see Casey on the inside. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely some contact there. He just got in the left rear quarter panel with Stacy. John had nowhere to go.
Stacy thought Casey'd give him room and went for the bottom of the track.
Yes.
In the driver's meeting,
Johnny Benson watches this and somehow gets by before the 19 car of Casey Atwood backs up the racetrack.
It's on board John Andretti's car. In the driver's meeting this morning, David Hoots, NASCAR's race director, said, no one will win this race in the first turn of the first lap. Please remember that. Turn one, lap one. Got a few wrecked cars. Going to push Andretti's car behind the wall. Craven and Spencer have both been on and off pit road once already. They're coming back to pit road again.
And there's a lot of damage to the 19 car when he goes up and makes contact with the wall with the right front.
And so we're under caution early here at the Kansas Speedway. Jason Leffler took the early lead, but who noticed?
Dear sir, thank you for changing my son's life. He has said that if he makes it through basic training, he'll never be afraid of anything. In my proudest moment, I will watch my son march across that field with his head held high. Thank you for bringing out the best in my child.
Graduation is just the beginning. Log on only at GoArmy.com.
Joins the 3,000 hit club. Run number 400 for Cal Ripken. Rounds third is Dan. Waves him home. You've been second at paying breakfast. Ball still iron.
Dad? Dad? Ready to go?
Yeah.
Beverly Hills, where the stores take cash, credit, or gold bullion. Even the poodles drink bottled water. If you want the best here, it'll cost you. But the best pizza won't cost you. You can get the Rodeo Drive of pizzas. A Pizza Hut pizza, just $8.99 every week this fall. Right now, it's the Big New Yorker pizza. It's humongous with tons of luscious cheese. Make it a supreme or specialty pizza for just 99 cents more. Beautiful. So feed your maid, chauffeur, and supermodel girlfriend for just $8.99. Can we eat in here? Only at Pizza Hut.
Shocking tragedies have occurred and America is in mourning. A long period of uncertainty and recovery awaits us all. The American Red Cross is providing life-saving assistance, including precious blood, food, shelter, and grief counseling. We honor our heroic relief workers, victims, and their families. Please call 1-800-GIVE-LIFE to donate blood or 1-800-HELP-NOW to offer financial support. Together, we can save a life.
NBA legend Moses Malone and other basketball greats are inducted at the 2001 Basketball Hall of Fame enshrinement ceremony next Saturday on NBC.
Next Saturday, Julius Jones and the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame return home to face the Pittsburgh Panthers. Next Saturday at 2:30 Eastern on NBC.
Didn't even get a full lap in here at the Kansas Speedway before the caution flag waved for a crash in turn 1, triggered with Casey Atwood and Stacy Compton.
You know, it's a couple of things on the very start of the race. Number one, the biggest story, obviously, the big crash. But look at Jeff Gordon. Here he is, starting on the outside pole. But check the gap in here between Bill Elliott and the pole sitter, Jason Leffler. When they throw the green flag, Jeff Gordon realizes this and dives to the inside and gets to the bottom as quick as he can. He sees the gap, senses the gap. The spotter tells him. We saw Kevin Harvick go back to 10th yesterday's race, start on the outside pole. And there you see the crash started between Casey Atwood and Stacy Compton.
Bobby Labonte was right up there in the middle of all this.
Wow, that was close.
Jimmy Spencer on pit road. Marty?
And this would be the third trip down pit road for Jimmy Spencer, Allen, this time just right side tires. You can see the left side damage, however. They fixed that on the last trip down. Spencer came on the radio after the incident, apologized. He said he got into Ricky Craven. That's the reason Craven went spinning. The damage actually very minimal for Jimmy Spencer. It is only cosmetic. The chassis is fine. The brakes are fine. To Matt Yoakum.
Significant damage on the 32 car. Ricky Craven, he's also on pit road for the third time. His biggest problem is knocked the left rear corner of the spoiler down about 4.5 to 5 inches. They've had to use bungee cord and tape to try to keep the sheet metal in place because he's obviously knocked away the fender braces. Alan?
Craven back out, staying on the lead lap. John Andretti's car has gone to the garage. They have towed Casey Atwood's machine back into the garage also.
It's going to go over to Rusty Waltz. He's right behind Ricky Craven. Watch. Ricky Craven stops. He sees the accident. The spotter warns him. He stops. And Rusty Waltz had no other choice except running the backup.
And then when Craven came back up the banking is when he and Jimmy Spencer collided. First turn, first lap. Everybody was worried about it, and obviously, rightly so.
It happened.
Yep. So we're less than a lap from the restart now. Jason Leffler's out in front. Jeff Gordon is second. Bill Elliott third. Stacy Compton hung on to his race car and hung on to fourth position. And then you've got, rounding out the top 5, Johnny Benson.
Take one more look at it. You know, you can see right there these two guys we want to look at. Casey's all the way down at the bottom, and Stacy just thought he had a lane open. He started moving down on Casey, and unfortunately Casey got the short end of the stick, and so did John and a lot of other cars.
John Andretti in the 43 car you were talking about. Pace car's off. Let's see if we can do this a little better this time. This time it's a single file start.
Pretty important right now to protect the bottom, because if you don't, and you get up on that high lane, it's just going to be like a Talladega. You're going to get hung out to dry because everybody's nose to tail.
Jason Leffler, native of Long Beach, California, just his 23rd NASCAR Winston Cup Series race. He leads the champion to be, potentially, Jeff Gordon, 3-time champion. How's that?
That's better.
All right. May not lead him for long, though. Gordon taking a peek.
Now look, that lap there going to the corner looked like the 01 car in Jason Leffler's a little bit tight.
Rusty Wallace picking up 8th spot on Bobby Labonte.
And we'll see this especially in the early going. When a car gets on the inside of another car, the fellow on the outside is just going to back up, especially if there's room behind. He's going to back up and let him have that spot. Because we see what happens. Oh, battle for the lead. Here comes Jeff Gordon.
Gordon out in front. In trouble on the backstretch. Buckshot Jones. several drivers with incredible avoidance there as Buckshot came careening back across the backstretch. Second caution of the race.
See some damage to the front of Buckshot's car. Certainly doesn't look as bad as John Andretti's, but
It's got a flat left front tire. I don't know if that was maybe some of the problem, or if he got that after he flat spotted him.
And we're already under the yellow flag for the second time, and we haven't even completed 10 laps. I hope that's not a sign of things to come for the rest of the afternoon.
That's a record for here.
Oh, yes, Wally, it would be a record, as would everything that happens today. Brilliant observation.
Thank you.
Let's take a look at what happened to Buckshot Jones off turn 2. That's put the yellow flag out again.
There again, looked like he may have got a little bit of help there as well.
And Sterling Marlin, who was right behind him. And watch as his car comes across the track out of that cloud. On pit road, looks like they've got a lot of work to do before they'll get Buckshot back out in this one. Dave?
And Alan, the first thing they did was to check to see if they had broken the radiator and what damage there was to the left front suspension. Looks like there are no visible pools of fluid or anything underneath the 44 right now, so that's a good sign. But they're going to have to do a lot of repairs, as you mentioned, to get him race ready once again. A lot of cars on pit road as well, Alan, topping off fuel and putting on fresh tires. Let's go to Bill Weber.
Well, back in the garage with John Andretti, and I know you're disappointed. What'd you see?
Oh, I didn't. All I saw was the car spinning out. It's real unfortunate because it's first corner, the first race here, and we had a really good car. Cherio's Sprint Dodge was really good all weekend, and I mean, it's just really, really frustrating for us and the guys. I don't have much to say. I just came out to say hi to my kids, Jared, Olivia, and Amelia, and say hi to them, tell them Dad's okay, and you know, it's been this way for a year. I told Kyle, I said, why can't anything good happen to this race team? You know, it's they work so hard, Kyle worked so hard, and we deserve better than this. And if not for me, for them.
John, were guys fighting to get that inside groove too early?
I think they are. I think they're fighting awful hard for something that doesn't matter for 200 and some laps. I mean, I was on the outside lane, and I didn't have a problem out there. My problem was the guy spun from the bottom up, and it's one of those things that happens, and I figured starting 12th, I mean, I should be in the safe part of the race, and starting around guys that shouldn't, you know, you think would know better, and, you know, accidents happen. I mean, that's why we're in racing. Unfortunately, we don't seem to cause them. We seem to be in a lot of them lately, and it's just real unfortunate for us.
Thanks for coming out.
Thanks.
Alan.
All right, Bill. John Andretti in the garage, Casey Atwood in the garage. Richard Petty's other car that was in this race is on pit road damaged.
And his other car did not make the race. So bad weekend for Petty Enterprises.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. is running in 20th place now under the caution flag. He was in a little skirmish on the racetrack a minute ago, too.
That's Todd Bodine, the 66 car right in front of Earnhardt. Earnhardt trying to get position. Todd Bodine kind of runs him down on the apron. The junior doesn't back up.
Still outside, still there.
Oh. Wasn't a lot of room on the bottom that time. And Junior wisely backed off.
I think he knew Todd was coming.
That's playing chicken at 175 miles an hour.
More like 195 miles per hour down in that corner.
And what you saw there was a little bit of a guy getting another guy aero loose, and we're going to hear a lot about aero tight and aero loose today, because this racetrack is so smooth that the cars are very dependent on aerodynamics.
Bobby Hamilton, Ricky Craven, Jerry Nadeau, Robert Presley, Brett Bodine, Michael Waltrip, and Jeremy Mayfield all made pit stops under the caution. They're all back on the track toward the end of the field.
Kevin Harvick on the outside. Now, you would have thought he'd have learned yesterday not to test that outside, but he did pick up a couple of spots.
Got around Tony Stewart. Harvick up to 7th. Now Stewart with Rusty Wallace to his inside for 8th. Rusty in the 2. And the 0-2, Rusty's teammate, Ryan Newman. Moving forward fast. He started back in 17th.
Stacy Compton got way high up in the middle of 1 and 2 there, losing a bunch of spots.
He was 4th. He's now 9th. We heard from John Andretti. The other driver involved in the accident a moment ago is with Bill Weber.
That's Casey Atwood back from a quick trip to the infield care center. You're okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Everybody was scrambling, trying to get to the bottom there on that restart because the top was really not working. And I was trying to keep the 92 on the outside of me, trying to get in the front. And I should have known from past racing experience with him I wasn't going to get much room there on that restart. So I think maybe I should have just let him in front of me and try to get him later in the race.
Or give and take early on, huh?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, when you have split seconds like that to make a decision about something, sometimes things happen that you wish you hadn't done.
You learned something today?
No, not really. I hope that I didn't get to do anything on the track. But, really don't think it was my fault from what I've seen in the car. I feel like I should have got a little bit more room, but maybe we can do it next time.
Thanks for your time.
Robbie Gordon in the 31 car trying to move forward. Meanwhile, they're about 2-3 wide behind him is Kenny Wallace in the 1 car on the inside of the 21 of Elliott Sadler. And here comes, is that Spencer?
Yep. There's Jimmy, the 26. Everybody now, after seeing that first turn incident, being very careful when they get in that outside lane.
I don't know. I know, too. Benny and I were just watching Ryan Newman ran down in there on top of Stacy Compton, got a little bit sideways, got Stacy out of shape.
Robert Presley, one of those who made a pit stop under this last caution. Jerry Nadeau in the 25 also did. Both moving by Elliott Sadler, who's shuffled back in that outside lane.
And Matt Kenseth has made an unscheduled pit stop. He's now a lap down.
Dave, what happened?
Well, to Matt Kenseth, he had a flat right rear tire. They came in and changed right side tires, sent him back out. As for Jerry Nadeau, he was real loose. They came in and took a spring rubber out of the right rear, which will help the car tighten up a bit, and they changed 2 right side tires as well.
Kenseth back in 40th position. 1 lap down to race leader Jeff Gordon. Terry Labonte in the 5, Andy Houston in the 96.
That's a battle for the 14th position. Labonte takes it away.
Houston, his final ride in this car. The sponsorship going away after today, and the team will shut down. Dave?
And Alan, I talked to Andy about that this morning, spent a couple minutes with him, and I asked him what his attitude was. And he said, you know, it's been hard to come to the track for the last few races knowing that we're not running this car anymore. But he said, today, I was a little bit more pumped up knowing this was my final shot with this car and for this sponsor. And he thinks he has a pretty good piece. And remember, McDonald's has said they want to stay in the sport, but unfortunately, it won't be with the Cal Wells team.
Somewhat of a halting start, already 2 caution flags, but now we're 20 laps in to the 267 that'll make up the inaugural event at Kansas Speedway.
Check this out. Bob here needs a car. How about a pickup?
A black one. With a place for my butt.
Autotrader.com. Over 1.5 million used cars, make it the biggest, best used car site on the planet.
Need a loan?
Oh, yeah. Autotrader.com. Your car is waiting.
Everywhere we go, people seem to love Team Kelly. We love Team Kelly Racing.
They've got the drive, they've got the experience.
Team Kelly needs a lot of work. How is it you have the worst luck on the circuit? Danny needs to step out of the way and let Trish drive.
You racing Saturday night? You know, I think this week Team Kelly's going to do it. Cut! Yeah, I think that'll happen.
Someday, they just might win. The Kellys. Exclusively on NASCAR.com. America Online keyword NASCAR.
Back at the Kansas Speedway, new leader. The Sprint PCS presents NASCAR Winston Cup Series Racing. Bill Elliott has just gotten by Jeff Gordon to take over the top spot.
And Elliott has already pulled out to about 2/3 of a second lead. Here's that happen. Came off turn 4. We see Jeff Gordon's car is pushing, going up the racetrack as it comes off the corner, unable to keep it down. Bill Elliott could keep his down. Pull alongside Gordon, took the spot going in turn 1.
Elliott, third different driver to be out in front. Pole sitter Jason Leffler led 8 laps. Gordon 14. And now Elliott 4 as he comes to the start-finish line. Gordon is second. Leffler is third. Ricky Rudd is taken fourth from Johnny Benson a few laps back. Rusty Wallace has now moved to 6th through body to body. More on the leader from Bill Weber.
And obviously a good run for Bill Elliott so far. Strong. They were very concerned when he got out front what the nose of the car would do in clean air. The question, how is it out there? One word answer, good. They've also told him that he is very strong from the middle of the corners off through the front stretch and the back stretch. So Dodge strong early. Bill Elliott hunting for his first win since 1994.
And that's where you have to be strong here. You have to be good off the corners because these cars, a lot of guys complain about the cars being tight, not wanting to turn when you get off the corners. So the Dodges are usually a little bit better. A little bit, seems like downforce-wise, they're a little bit stronger cars, especially on the nose.
Dodge's got a rules concession from NASCAR a couple of months back where that very lower part of the nose of the car was allowed to be pushed 2 inches farther out forward, away from the front bumper, to increase the aerodynamic pressure on the nose of the car.
And what that does is it pushes the tires into the racetrack a little bit better. That's going to give you more grip.
We talk about tight, loose. We'll be hearing that all day today, folks. You'll be hearing it because we've got to talk about it. We're going to try to show you what we're talking about when we say tight. We'll go inside our virtual garage. Go down the corner preferred line, just as it is at the Kansas Speedway, right on that white line. When the car comes off the corner and gets tight, it just pushes up the racetrack. The car is unable to turn. So visualize that, folks, when we say the car is tight. One concern that when I talked to the engine guys this morning, they have one concern: engine durability, because they're in between gear ratios. The front straightaway, these cars are turning about 9,200 RPM, and they're really concerned that 400 miles just possibly could do some of these engines in.
Remember, we saw Dale Jr. and Todd Bodine get into a little scrap a while back. Now Dale Jr. has finally completed the pass on Todd and picked up the 18th spot. 7 cars, Mike Wallace. He's 17th, trying to get a move on Andy Houston in the 96.
At least that move that Mike Wallace made to the bottom of the racetrack got Andy Houston up off the bottom enough that he allowed to pass him coming off turn 2. It was a good move by Mike Wallace.
He's going to get should get passed by both these guys because he's up there in the slippery part of the racetrack, so Dale Jr. should be able to pull this pass off as well.
And another 3 or 4 behind if he doesn't get back down there. There you go, Andy. Close that door that was open before Ward Burton came through. Jerry Spencer on the move.
And Jimmy Spencer had that damage on that first lap crash and made several pit stops, had to restart about the 35th position. He's worked his way up to 21st.
16th place, Dale Jr. around Mike Wallace. Ward Burton ran up on the back of Andy Houston, got the back of his car loose, and now Andy's going to lose a couple more spots.
This Kansas Speedway does not have the banking in the corners that some other mile-and-a-half tracks do. When we go to Charlotte next weekend, those corners are banked at 24 degrees. This one is at 15 degrees, and it creates a whole different set of problems when you try and go into one of these corners.
Yeah, the banking doesn't hold you in the racetrack, so you go down into the corner, and you can't go through the corners fast because there is less banking. And a new racetrack like this, like Benny said earlier, there's not a whole lot of grip or traction. The racetrack isn't weathered enough to give you that grip in the tires. So everybody tries to run down the bottom of the racetrack, put that rubber down, that helps them stick.
And when you're on a flat race, on a bank racetrack, as you were talking about, bank can do so much for you. Here's Jeff Burton on the inside of Todd Bodine. Can't quite get the position he needs.
Sterling Marlin started back in 19th place. He has moved up now, just taking the 11th spot away from Dale Jarrett. Scoring serial on Marlin. Lost a little ground in the opening shuffle, but Bill, he's moving forward.
Well, Sterling Marlin having a good run here early, Alan. And just a couple of things about that paint scheme. It's called American Pride. And last week, Coors raised $4,000 for disaster relief victims following the terrorist attack on America. This week, $10 a lap again from Coors, so they can add another $2,670, making it over $6,600 they'll be donating. Also notice on that car, absolutely no decals for Coors. Just an American Pride slogan and the God Bless America.
And walking through the garage here and asking this morning, asking the crew chiefs and mechanics what car is really fast, the 40 car kept being mentioned. Sterling Marlin is very, very fast. Also, Jeff Gordon said his car was very good. But right now, Jeff Gordon is struggling. Bill Elliott has passed him, pulled away from Gordon by a couple of seconds. It looks like that Sterling Marlin is going forward.
Elliott's lead is 1.978 seconds over Gordon, Leffler, Rudd, and Benson. You're watching NASCAR on NBC.
I might take a train, and I might take a plane. But even if I have to walk, John, watch him. Go up, go up. Here I come. Turn, right. What I said, man.
Find the seams. It's the splitter. No, it's the high heat. Did I lock my keys in the car? Is that so, sir? Going for my Pepsi. Sammy. The 1 liter Big Slam from Pepsi. More of the taste you go for. How'd this happen?
I said I wanted to go hiking tomorrow, not bring home sorrow.
Hey.
It's not even close.
I heard what I heard. Do you have a cellular phone? Yeah. It's the static. Here. Sprint PCS built the only all-digital, all-PCS nationwide network, so all your calls will be clear.
Thanks.
Sir, ma'am, Charlie.
Mama, écoute.
2,500 minutes for $39.99 from Sprint PCS.
I'll tell you what, on race day, you better get it right.
You want a hands-on boss. Yeah. Terry Labonte. Terry Labonte.
Check the transmission and the drive shaft.
He's involved in every detail. Right, absolutely.
Hey, if that makes me a perfectionist, 1 more pound. So what?
There's a fingerprint on the windshield.
Got it.
Hey, I'm here to win. Blue. The nose needs to be bluer.
Blue's good. Yeah, Blue's great. Very good.
Next Sunday on NBC, it's the UAW GM Quality 500. Over the last decade, Jeff Gordon's dominated the racing in Charlotte with 4 wins. Now it's his drive for 5. But his main challengers, Ricky Rudd and Tony Stewart, look to make victory lane in Charlotte for the first time ever. Next Sunday, noon Eastern, NBC NASCAR.
We check our Wendy's race menu and find that the race for the championship moves to a home game next Sunday.
Oh, you know these teams are just so excited about being at Charlotte. This is home next week. Winning at Charlotte is bragging rights until next May.
High noon Eastern time next Sunday, NASCAR on NBC. There's the leader, Bill Elliott. And even 2 seconds is his advantage over Jeff Gordon. He has caught the tail end of the field, starting to put some drivers a lap down. Check the integral back to Jeff Gordon. There he is. Gordon already has led today, collected 5 bonus points toward the championship. His title rival, Ricky Rudd, has not. Ricky is running in 4th position now. He is 3.4 seconds behind the leader. Let's go to Matt Yoakum.
Alan, in the final practice session on Saturday afternoon, Jeff Gordon's problem was his car was loose on entry and tied off. Today, it's loose on entry, loose in the center, and a little tight up off. Also, for Ricky Rudd, his title rival, the car is loose in the center of the corner, but he's also reporting in the car gets looser when he tries to get underneath another car. So right now, his car is good in traffic. Both teams are trying to formulate a game plan for their first round of pit stops, which should come somewhere around laps 65 to 70.
9 races to go in the season, including today. Jeff Gordon has a 212-point advantage over Ricky Rudd. He cannot lose the lead in today's race, but he also knows with 9 races to go, this thing's far from over. It's no time to be conservative.
There's no points lead big enough right now, and you know, right now we got to fight for every position, and we can't even be conservative right now because the 28, the 88, the 20, they're running good. We're running good too, which we're proud of that. But you know, the only way we're going to win this championship is to continue to get top 5s, top 10s every weekend.
Well, I agree that they need to be consistent and what have you, but right now they are struggling, and it looks to me like if they open this floodgate and these cars start passing Jeff, and he gets back mired in the middle of the pack, it's going to be awfully hard for him to get back to the front.
There are the championship contenders and where they are in the race. Dave?
Sorry, Alan, I missed who you were coming to me about. Who was that? And I could probably add. That would be
Jeff Gordon.
Jeff Gordon. And Jeff Gordon, of course, is working this weekend to capture yet another victory for the Rainbow Warriors. And, you know, talking to Jeff earlier today, he has a lot of things on his mind from all the recent events here. Just happens he can get back out on this speedway for the first time and try to correct that aero push the next time he comes into the pits. That's what they'll be working on the next time they stop down pit road.
Gordon falling farther back. He's now 3 seconds behind, so Elliott's added another full second to his advantage.
Yeah, I'd like to get back a little bit earlier. I think as Matt was talking about the 28 car. That's a hard car to drive, what Ricky's doing right now. The car being loose in the middle, which actually the front tires are sticking too good, so the car wants to get sideways in the middle. When you get next to another car, especially as close as these cars are passing each other, you're taking the air off your car. You're taking the air off your spoiler. So it's even scarier passing somebody because you don't have as much downforce. So he's got his hands full right now.
See Jimmy Spencer back on the racetrack after an unscheduled stop.
Derek Hope has also been on pit road for an unscheduled stop. His car down a cylinder.
You know, we keep always see Spencer in the wall. He just had made a pit stop and goes down the corner, and the car just would not turn.
Caution, Spencer's car has dropped debris.
You know, the guys talk about putting on new tires. When you put on cold tires, they just don't seem to grip too well that first couple of laps. And I think that's what happened to Spencer. He made a stop, changed tires, he got down to turn 1. They just would not grip.
Third caution of the race.
And we're going to see pit stops now. The question that I have, what are we going to see on these pit stops? Do you think some guys will be changing 4, some guys 2, and maybe some guys not even changing tires?
50 laps in, you need most of a tank of fuel. So you might as well change the 4 tires, wouldn't you think?
I agree. If you're going to be there that time, you may as well go ahead and put rubber on. Let's take a look and see what happens. See Ricky's working on the back end. Yeah, you're right, BP. The car just quit turning.
Just got down in the corner and lost grip.
But see, the reason I would put 4 tires on is it may set you up. If this thing does go green for a long time, then you put yourself in a position to maybe just take right sides. It's hard to tell. Seems like these cars are just as fast or even faster after 30 or 35 laps on their tires than they are with new tires.
Lead lap cars only are allowed to pit the first time by. It'll be Elliott, Gordon, Leffler, Rudd, and Benson coming in. Challenge here for Leffler's crew. Their first time at the front of the pack. Let's see if they can get all pumped up and keep their guy up there.
I tell you what, a bad pit stop right now could certainly cost you the race when it's all over. Bill Weber, they're coming to you.
And you look at the triple splits, also 50 laps for Bill Elliott. The car just a little bit free. 4 tires in fuel. These are 4 scuffed tires. They were scuffed for 2 laps in practice here earlier in the weekend. Marty?
Jason Leffler also with scuffed tires, Bill. A little bit tight. He's doing a terrific job right now. They are very good on the long runs. Half a pound into the right rear. To Matt Yoakum.
A 4-tire change for Jeff Gordon. They made a wedge adjustment. Remember, his car was tight. And the 9 car will beat Gordon off pit road.
Elliott, Gordon, Rudd, Benson, Wallace. Where's Leffler? We saw they had some trouble on the left side on their pit stop. He's 8th in line.
And it looked like it was only about a second or a second and a half slower, but that's a lot on pit lane.
Dave Burns.
Good pit stop for Jerry Nadeau. He wanted to actually stay on the tires he was on. He communicated with crew chief Tony Furr and said, I don't think I want to change tires. Tony said, no, let's get these off. It's your first long run. They came in before, but they didn't change tires. It's your first long run. Let's take a look at them, and we'll judge from there whether or not we can stay out long time today. The crew's looking him over now, and Jerry just made they have made a slight air pressure adjustment for him. He was just a tick tight off of the turns, but he was much better the last 5 laps.
Nadeau pitted on lap 10. He restarted 39th. He moved up to 19th under the green flag before making that yellow pit stop. 51 of 267 laps complete. You're watching NASCAR on NBC.
Premiering NBC tonight, a new breed of undercover agent to give you your action fix.
I don't need you to protect me.
Fellow agent! From the producers of Pulp Fiction and the writer of Armageddon, you see Undercover. NBC tonight at 10/9 Central.
The power of 4. The Super Doppler 10 weather team. 4 full-time meteorologists working for you, warning you of severe weather before it strikes. More expertise, more experience. Don Slater, John Cash, Fred Eco, Jim Lawrence. Over 50 years of combined experience for a forecast you can trust. The Super Doppler 10 weather team. 4 full-time meteorologists, one purpose: to give you the most accurate weather predictions possible. Prepare your family the next time severe weather hits. Count on the Super Doppler 10 weather team.
Race World is your one-stop race shop for all your NASCAR, NHRA, Dirt, Sprint, IRL, kart, and Formula One needs. Others may try to imitate, but none can duplicate. Race World has everything for the race fan under one roof at the best prices. Diecast, scanners, cards, shirts, hats, jackets, coolers, flags, watches, glassware, clocks, afghans, display cases, and much more. Visit them on the web at raceworld.com. New merchandise arriving daily. If you want it, they've got it. And if they don't have it, they'll get it. Race World, setting the pace in the collectibles race.
I'm a man. I fell ill. Hey, child. In that rubber band vein.
Introducing the tough new crew cab long bed. It's the next frontier.
America on alert. Stay with Wavy News 10 for continuing coverage.
The Kellys. exclusively on NASCAR.com. America Online keyword NASCAR.
Less than a lap from the green flag. Here's our Mountain Dew pit summary.
See, Ricky Rudd picked up a spot. Everybody from third forward, from fourth forward picked up a spot because Jason Leffler, who was running third, didn't do too good. He ended up ninth spot, lost 6 positions on that pit stop. Bobby Labonte lost 4.
Leffler's team had a little bit of trouble on the left side when they went around. First-time pole winner, Jason Leffler, trying to fare better than most of the other guys who are first-time pole winners have this year. This is Charlotte on Memorial Weekend in the 600. Ryan Newman, lap 19. He's leading the race, and he crashes right in front of Jeff Gordon. He finishes in 43rd position. Crew had to take the car behind the wall to make extensive repairs. Jeff Green finished 42nd at Bristol when he was a first-time pole winner. Stacy Compton at Talladega, 43rd when he was a first-time pole winner. And then Kurt Busch for the Southern 500. First-time pole winner, he crashed and finished 39th.
And this is probably one of the few times the leaders like when their lap cars are down on the bottom, because if these first 3 or 4 guys can clear the lap cars, they're going to put some distance on the cars behind, because all the lead cars are up high. So they got to get by these guys as quick as possible.
Bill Elliott, Jeff Gordon, Ricky Rudd, Johnny Benson, and Rusty Wallace are the top 5. The lap down cars for the inside, the 12 of Jeremy Mayfield, the 17 of Matt Kenseth, those 2, the 55 of Bobby Hamilton, they got lapped by the leader before the caution came out.
And that's exactly what Wally was talking about. The top 4 cars have been able to clear the lap traffic. Rusty Wallace, the 5th place car, hung up behind them and losing ground each lap. Elliott gets the car a little bit loose. Gordon's looking on the inside.
He's there.
And Bill said, okay, Jeff, you're there. You can have it.
We're under caution at lap 3. A lot of things happening, so let's go now. How about the third lap after the restart with our silent tribute to the great champion Dale Earnhardt and all of America's lost heroes.
Well, you said, Jeff Gordon, that Ricky Rudd had not led a lap just a few minutes ago. He led that last lap.
Yes, he did. He crossed the start-finish line first. 5 bonus points in the championship for Rudd. Now he gives the lead back up to Gordon.
But that was pretty impressive, and they're 3 wide behind this group as Rusty Wallace tries to fight through the lap traffic and finally get through them.
Kenseth in the 17, Hamilton in the 55, both a lap down. Sterling Marlin in the 40 and Harvick in the 29. Their lead lap, they're racing for 6th.
As our pole sitter, Jason Leffler behind these guys. He's moved his way up to the 8th position.
Just got by Tony Stewart to take that spot. Let's give you the cars that are a lap down, because at the tail end of that long run, the leader caught several people all at once. You've got Kenseth and Hamilton, I mentioned them. Brett Bodine, Elliott Sadler, Jeremy Mayfield, Joe Nemechek, and Hunt Strickland. A 1 lap down trouble. Front stretch. Kurt Busch. And a race back to the caution flag. Rudd's going to try and get Gordon for the lead.
He has that position. Jeff hung on the outside the last time, and he's trying to do the same thing again. Maybe we are seeing an outside line move up. Come in, Wally.
Who's it gonna be at the line?
Ricky
Rudd got it.
Boy, that 24 car really hung out there pretty tough.
And that was just to lead the race back to the pace car. They will allow Kurt Busch in the 97 to get back by the pace car. And let's go take a look at what happened to put us under caution.
He just lost it up there. There was nobody even behind him, really very close to upset his car. He just lost the back of the car.
Andy Houston, I thank goodness he did not turn right when he finally got the car straight. In fact, the car turned left and down through the grass.
And look at this. Wow.
That is close.
10 inches, a foot, maybe.
Maybe.
So Rudd is now the leader of the Protection 1 400. You're watching NASCAR on NBC.
Grandstands and infields, pistons and thunder, muscles and speed, men and machines, speedways and octane, scanners and pit stops, checkered flags and championships, trophies and beer. Start your engines, baby. I'm a race fan.
Gentlemen, if you keep dogging it, we're going to run all night. Now, let's go. Come on, let's go! Move, move, move! That's better. That's looking...
What if stopping was as hard for you
Just run it off, run it off! Come on, show me some hustle.
as it is for your car?
It's okay.
Treat your car right with Raybusters Quiet Stop Brakes, new at Pep Boys. Keep your wheels clean and save up to $40 on these ultra-quiet, low-dusting brakes.
Oh, it's going to be a long season.
All you need to know is where to go. Pep Boys.
So many baths, so little time. I miss. Gotta be Grand Prix drivers.
It's the wide track attack. Nothing sticks to the curbs like the Pontiac Grand Prix with wide track handling. Wider is better.
I thought only bass had big mouths.
Hey, boss, what are we doing here? Yeah, I thought we was getting some ziti. Enough with the ziti. You're here to lose weight. Gabish?
Tell him, sweetheart.
If you want to lose weight and look great, nothing burns fat faster than Stacker 2.
Well, boss, what about this Xena stuff? And this Metabo whatever? Forget about it. This family only uses Stacker 2, the world's strongest fat burner.
Stacker 2. It's the world's strongest fat burner. Capiche?
Sprint PCS presents NASCAR Winston Cup Racing from Kansas Speedway. Brought to you by the Wide Track Grand Prix by Pontiac. Wider is better. By Miller Lite. Grab a Miller Lite. It's Miller time. By Pep Boys. All you need to know is where to go. Pep Boys. And by McDonald's. We'd love to see you smile.
Fourth caution flag here at the Kansas Speedway. Been kind of a halting start to today's NASCAR Winston Cup inaugural here, but we're getting set to try it again. The one-to-go signal given as the field crossed the start-finish line. And so the lap cars pull up to the inside of the leaders. Ricky Rudd racing Jeff Gordon pretty hard back to that caution flag to get the top spot.
I think that Ricky Rudd feels like that he has a better car. I mean, and he wants to be in front of Jeff Gordon. He wants to drive away from him and get the 5 bonus points for leading the most laps.
Well, for leading the most laps. Because he'd already got the bonus points for leading a lap.
I think now he's trying to get the other bonus points.
And he's probably tired about being a nice guy all the time, too.
Clears Matt Kenseth and gets Jeff Gordon hung behind him. That could be big.
Kenseth, the first car, 1 lap down. He drives to 17 in the bright yellow car. He's back in 31st place. Let's see if Kenseth can get back on the lead lap.
Now, Jeff might take advantage of this right here. These cars running side by side like that, and he does.
And Jeff Gordon goes back to the lead.
Bill Elliott is third. Boy, Ricky Rudd's up the track. Here comes Elliott.
I saw Ricky Rudd's car go down in the corner. Just did not grip the way it should. And he loses another spot for Ricky Rudd. Hey, Matt, what did Rudd's team do on that pit stop?
Benny, they took on scuffed tires. Ricky reported in under that caution that his car is very, very loose as a, quote, son of a gun. But if this is what it takes to stay here, I'll take it. He said his car feels like he only has 2 tires on the left front and the right rear. Meanwhile, Gordon, who had on scuffs to start, put stickers on. He says that's not the way to go. Remember, I've talked to several crew chiefs this week, and they all say sticker tires show a tendency to be loose for 6 or 8 laps.
And if you're new to NASCAR, a sticker tire is a brand new one with the label still on it, never turned a lap on a race car. A scuffed tire has been one that's put on the car, been run around the track a couple of times.